record. All right, so let's start. Right, today we will mostly focus in function, and let's go back to our VS Code and check the problem. Right, so the function exercise. What we will do, right? We'll just create function A, B, C, right, and then try to solve a couple of problem from here. So in my function, right, let's see, I'll just create a function A. Okay, let's go back. Who is here? What is my browser? Admit. So function A, we just starting the function. Okay, so function A, I will create another folder, function B, and then one more, right, function C. So we will try to solve a couple of problem from each of them, right? Because I think function will be easy for you guys, but still we'll do some exercise. So in the VS Code, what I want to do, that I want to put side by side. Okay, so if I can minimize this for now. From here and here, so I don't think it will be better idea. Okay, let's continue here. So these are the simple function, right? See that last time I explained, you can write a function in like a different way, right? So the first way will be what? Let's call this a function exercise snippet. Just copy this, right here, new file, yeah, and I will copy this first, and I will also explain, right? So this is a function. You can call it in three different way, okay? Or basically you can define in three different way, right? But just use keyword function with function name like sum, right? That's it. So this is the statement of the function. Function with function name, parenthesis, and the curly bracket. That is the statement. All the definition will go inside this curly bracket, right? All here, definition of the function. Definition means like all the variables, calculations, return, everything will go inside the curly bracket. So this is called what? Function statement. Right? The next one will be expression. So you have variable. Let's say you have variable, let subtract, right? Sub subtract, okay? And this is a variable. And now you want to define the function, right? So you just put a function name, basically function keyword, parenthesis, and the curly bracket. That's it. So this is called function expression. So what happened, right, when you use the function expression and function statement? When you create a function like this, right, it will be similar to the variable, okay? It will be exact similar how the variable behave, right? In the memory, it will gonna have undefined first. Okay, let's find out here how I can get there. Okay, admit. All right, so we just talking about a function and all that. So we have a function statement, simple function, parenthesis, curly bracket, because there is no, basically let's put return, return true, right? like that. Function expression, when you have variable equal to function and all that, right? That is function expression. There will be anonymous function also, like sometimes you're going to see in the object, right? Like this one without name or anything, just function like this, right? Also you're going to see, but for now let's keep it expression and statement. These two kind of function we're going to use, right? So just stick to this one for now. Okay, so this is what function expression. So in function, as I explained before, right, function is, one second guys, just lock the door, okay. So function, what gonna happen, this function when every time when this function invoke, what is function invocation means? Running the function means function is going to run or do something, right? So here, this is the function, yeah, this is the function, correct? This is the function. Until and unless you use this function means invoke the function, it will do nothing, it will just create the memory greet, memory whistle. Okay, let me comment this out, right? So there will be no confusion for now. So it will create a memory greet, whistle, and because they are variable, it will have undefined, right, in the memory block, basically on the when the memory is created, right? And then the code will run. So where the code will run, start from this line, right? Now in place of undefined, this function will be assigned, because this is a function. So the basically assigning the variable with all the details, right? So this function will be assigned to this variable, this function will be assigned to this variable. Now it will go to this line, console log, because we are now running the code, okay, after creating a memory. So when the execution context is created, right, memory creates, a code runs. When the code runs, the function will be assigned to this function will be assigned to here, console log first, second, greet. We now invoking the function invocation happen. When you run this function, it will jump to the greet in the memory, right? It will jump to the greet, it will just find greet. Okay, I see the function value here. It will go inside here, console log hey, console log programmer, and done, right? Then it will jump here, console log third, console log fourth, and whistle. It will jump again back here, find the function, and then it will just do whatever, right? When you invoking the function, this variable becomes already function, okay, because it has a value whole function, right? So this function will just console log dot and finished. So that's how whole thing work, right? So if I F5 this now, you're gonna see all this, right? So they start from first, second, then the hey programmer is that's coming from greet, right? Greet has hey programmer, then it will jump third, fourth, and the dot. Dot is whistle, right? This function dot. See, that is what happened. I mean, that's how the function works. So one thing you have to remember, right? Function creates, function has its own memory. Function, when the function run, right, or function invoke, the function creates the function execution context. Remember, there is a global execution context. In that, everything, the whole function and everything in the global will be assigned the value or memory there. After that, on the right side, the code will run. When code runs, the value will be assigned to each variables, and if the variable is a function, then the function will be assigned to the variable. So that's how it happens, right? And every time when the function invoke, it will create its own execution context, because remember, function has variables inside, there is so much calculation, everything, it has to keep track of whole process, right? So that's why they create its own box, execution context box, there will be the variable part and the execution part, right? Means code execution part. So when there is two things, it will do the whole process, right, in the execution context of a function, and then finally it will be, when done, it will be deleted out of the memory, or basically call stack, right? So just remember that, okay? These are the few things, if you can track it, right, or you can manage to understand. Just let me know anyone has problem with the call execution context and how function work, right? Then I will explain that with the diagram, but if not, I will continue with the, let's go to the VS Code, sorry, the, yeah, GitHub. And so these things are simple, right? You know that already. There is a function in the how many, right? And it's just returning the value. Function can return one value, or maybe array, or any data, right? Function can return. So just it's returning 42. If there is nothing, if you not return anything from the function, then it will return undefined, okay? So you can call that function here, right? If you just call how many without parenthesis, that means this is just a variable with all these details. That's what you get here, right? But if you call how many with parenthesis, this parenthesis invoke the function, okay? Function name with parenthesis, that parenthesis makes function run. Even console log, right? Log has this parenthesis. So the log will make sure this whatever inside is run, invoke, right? This parenthesis will make sure it invoke the function, the log function, okay? The same thing happen with any other function. So these are the simple stuff, right? You can try to finish, I mean, just try and solve it, okay? Even find the average, right? Num1, num2, you pass the parameter, this is a parameter, you pass the value here, or argument, and then you just return what, num1 plus num2 divided by 2, right? That's it. That is what you're returning, and it will give you the whatever the average or whatever the value, right? So okay, so that is there, right? And next is what, so let a equal to 2 3, b equal to 20. You're just passing now a here, right? So this will be 24, you pass here 24, you pass 20. In this case, right, in this case, see, look at here, right? This is a function here. This, you have to take this one as a one thing. This is a function, it will return some value. That value will be added to 2 and return whatever the result, right? Okay, so yeah, so I see all these are simple stuff you can test in your computer. Okay, there is already the solutions and all that. I mean, just test. What we're gonna do, we will write couple of functions quickly and then I will explain more, right? So let's go to, so if I say let is divided by, right, 4 equal to function. So what it says, right, write a function is divided by 4 that accepts a number as an argument. So see, the function is accepting the 8 as an argument, 12, 24, 9, 10, right? That's the argument. So I need to add a parameter here, right? So that is a number, okay? I'll just call that, what is parameter, right? Parameter is a variable or function. This parameter is a variable which holds the value passed as an argument, and this is called value is called argument. This value is held by this num, right? Num, okay? Every time you call this function, you passing the difference. So for every function there will be a new value for that num, because remember, every time the function invoke, what happen, it will create the function execution context. In that context, right, the memory, the variable num is going to have this particular value, okay? So whichever function is invoking, in that situation, this will be the value for that norm. So just remember that, right? Okay, so now if anyone has any question, please ask, let me know. Okay, anything doubtful, right? Because we're going through the very simple basic stuff now, but still, if there is any doubt, I will explain it. So is divide by 4 function norm. Okay, so that is what happened. What it's saying, right? Is divide by 4 that accepts a number as an array. The function should return a boolean indicating whether or not the number is divisible by 4. Okay, simple, right? You just write return, right? Return norm. A divisible of 4 means what? Means remainder has to be 0, right? Remainder. So how we find the remainder? By modulo operator, right? So modulo operator, remember, by 4. So when you, it will give you the remainder, okay, right? It will give you remainder. So when you mod whatever number 8, let's say 8, right? 8 mod 4, it will be 2 time, it will divide 2 time, the remainder will be 0, right? So that is true. So to get a boolean, now I will compare that result with my 0. If I get 0, I know that is true. If I don't get 0, it will return false. So this whole statement, right? This is a statement. This whole statement will give me true or false based on number, right? So here 8 mod 4, that will be 0. The remainder will be 0. So that equal to 0. So that is true value. 12 will be 0, right? Also because you can divide 12 3 times. So remainder will be 0. 24 is true. 9, no, right? There will be remainder 1 because you can go maximum 8, right? And then 9 minus 8 will be 1 remainder. So this will return 1 equal to 0, that is false. And the 10, in case of 10 also, there will be remainder 2, so that is also false. So if I just run this code, you're gonna see the answer, right? Oop, no answer. So F5, something went wrong, right? So there is no more terminal. Let's keep the terminal. Okay, so you see true, 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 false, false, right? Okay. All right, so that is the simple one. So this will be also same, right? So write a function, keep it quiet, right? That accepts a string as argument. The function should return the lower version of the string with 3 period, right? Periods added to the end of it. So that is 3 dot. So just function should return the lower case, right, of this character or this string with 3 dot on the back, right? Okay, so let's do it quickly, right? This will be like a minute, 1 minute to work. So let's create that. You just return something, I mean, with the simple 3 dot in the back. So if I go back here, right, and I say let keep it quiet. Okay, let's see, go back here, admit. Okay, so now keep it quiet, right? So that will be function. All right, so function has an argument. You pass the argument as a string, right? So let's call it a string variable here, and we just return in one line, string to lowercase, right? To lowercase. So that will convert the string to lowercase, correct? And now what we need to add, right? So that is what, add concatenate 3 dot, okay, dot dot dot. That's it. This will work, right? Let's check. See that everything converted to lowercase, then the string is dot is added to the back and done. See, you can return because you have to check, right, what is the output of all this. That is some value, right? And you just returning that. That value can be anything. What is value now in JavaScript? When I say value, you must think of data type, that is string, number, boolean, array, object, null, undefined. So these are the 7 value type, right? You need to remember. So what I need to return back, you can return anything, but what is the question asking for you to do, right? That's what you have to pay attention. Okay, so this will give one statement, means one result. To convert it, the string to lowercase, and we just added the dot in the back of that string, and the whole state becomes one statement now, and that is what return back. So you see the result here. Okay, so is long, right? Is long.js. So I want you guys to start practicing all this from beginning. Just everyone, please finish. I asked before also, right? Just get comfortable with all this problem, because once you know the JavaScript very well, right? That will help improve your programming skill. Just knowing simple HTML, CSS is not going to help. We just have to keep working, practice JavaScript, understand the concept. Just tell me if where you feel difficulty in basic JavaScript, right? Just tell me that. If there is anything I can do after that again to make you understand. But you must know all this problem easily. Why we doing all this, right? Because it will help you to write the function easily. It will help you to like do conditional loopings, like a conditional check, right? If else, for loop. You're going to learn about array, you're going to learn about object, you're going to learn about decompositions. There is so many things you're going to complete in whole exercise here. So let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Don't ignore, right? Because every day is gone, right? Every day is changing. Okay, every day is like a new day. We are getting older every day, right? So there is no second like a chance for us. One day finished, that means gone. So please work, right, and get it done. Okay, so let's write a function. What it's saying, right? Is long there. So if write a function is long accepts a string as an argument, the function should return a boolean, right, indicating whether or not the string is longer than 5 characters. So if this string is longer than 5, then return true, else false, right? So it will be also one line. Very simple, right? So let is long equal to function, and then here, right? So the string, so I'll just pass a parameter called str. I'll just return it. Okay, and what I will return, right? Str dot length, we can do that, right? Is greater than 5, because remember, this statement is going to do return true or false. If this string is greater than 5, it will return true. If less than 5, it will return false. Very simple. See, and this is in the first example in this exercise, right? How to compare the number, string, all this comparison operator, greater than, less than, equal to, less than, equal to, all that. And done, done. Simple, see that? Okay. So what else we can do? Is long and half, right? So this will be also just divide by 2 and then it's done. That is same thing. I think you guys can do it. This simple one. You just return like a norm, right? Norm divide by 2, and that will return the half. and that is just return that, right? In with t, right? So here, so write a function in with t accepts a string as argument. The function should return a boolean indicating whether or not the string ends with t character. So you just have to check, right? You know how to get this last character. So let's do this one. Okay, this feels like a little. You can even, okay, we have not learned about the arrow function, right now. Let's not worry about that. Okay, so anyway, this is the function. There is a string as an argument, so I just create a parameter str, that is our variable for the function, and the function should return true or false based on what. So if the last character is t, return true, else return false. So how are we going to get the last character, guys? Let last character, right, equal to how a string square bracket, right, string dot length minus 1. Is that okay? Is this is correct? So in this string, right, if I pass the length minus 1, so the length will let's count here, right? The length is what? 1 2 3 4 4 5. This is the 5 length character. Okay, but if I need to get the last index, so I just have to do 5 minus 1. So this will give me 5 minus 1, 4, right? So that's the 4 character, the 4 index, 0 1 2 3 4, right? The index is 4 for the t. So whole statement here is 4. It's basically like this. It will return like this. That's it. So str4 means I get this last character, because this is smart equal to str, right? Means str equal to smart. That's the variable. So that smart, I grab the last character now. So same way gonna happen to each of them, right? I'm getting the last character. Simple, okay? Now you're gonna compare, right? Just return, or you can do the long way. If you want long way, then you write if last character is equal to t, right? You can even add a capital T also, right? Or last character is equal to capital T. But there is no capital T, but you can do if you want, right? More like a robust, you know. So it will check for both small or capital T. If that is the case, then return true. Else return false. Done. And F5. So I just wrote a long way, right? True, and then false. You can write the whole thing in one line also, like you can just do it simple, like return, right? Just write a return. And how you gonna compare? Last character equal to t. That's it. So there is too many equal, right? Or you can just, if you want, put, you can put again, last character equal to capital T, and done. So if I just comment this out, right, save and F5, see, same result. It give me the same result, because this is going to give true or false, and this is going to give a true or false. So in the case of or, if the both side is false, then only it will be false. Okay, but if anyone is true, right, let's say this is true, in the two case, right, here is true, here is true, then this will does that matter, I mean, it will just return true, and here there is no t, so it will be make false for the both side. Here will be false, and this is already false, right? So done. Yeah, That's false, false. So you can use what you like, right? Just think, think about all this. So average will be easy. You just add all this and divide by how much? That accepts 3 arguments. So this just divide by 3, right? And return that. So that will be easy part, okay? You add all that on the top. 3 plus 10 plus 8 are basically num1, num2, num3, and divide by 3 and return, put in the return variable, right? So return statement there, like this, return the average. Simply, you can do it like a return n1 plus n2 plus n3, right? And divide by 3. But when you do this, you make sure you put the bracket, okay? Because if you do like that, it will only divide this one, right? And then add to n1, n2. But when you combine in the parentheses, now first it will add all this together, because this bracket has first priority, right? And then only to gonna divide by 3. Okay, and whatever the result you get, that is the average of that 3 number. So let's check the section B, right? Now it will slowly get complex, okay? So in the string with R, it starts with R. File and solve the following below, right? Write a function string starts with R, right? That accepts a string as an argument, okay? And return a boolean indicating boolean, right? So we have to return true or false, indicating whether or not the string starts with small or capital R, right? So the first character, this is the one. So we know how to grab the first character and simply check that, right? If that is R, small r or capital R. I mean, we just did that one, right, with the last character. So it will be the same exact same thing. So in this case, I'll just write the function statement, simple, right? There is a string, correct, as a variable. Means you pass the argument string, right? See that? So we just need to find this whole thing is a one string, okay? It's long string, right? You just need to check if the first character is R or not. So we can do simply same thing, return. I'll write shortcut way, right? str. So let's get the first character, right? So let's let first character equal to string square bracket. Need to pass like a 0, right? Index 0, okay? Because in the first character, we know the index will be 0. We know that already, right? And we done, it's very easy, right? Just put a return now, and we're gonna check. So we check what? First character. If the first character, right? First character is equal to small r, okay? Or, right? First character is equal to capital R. And that will be fine. So let's save this. F5. True, true, false, false. Look at that. And we solve in one, 2 line, right? So this will be also easy, right, to find odd and even. Just return it. So this will be number divided by 2, because you need to find odd or even, right? So number divided by 2 equal to what? The remainder, right? Remember the modulo operator, equal to 0. So if that equal to 0, then that is even, right? If not, then it will give you, odd. So this will be very easy, just use the modulo operator and you will be done. Longer JS. Write a function, right, longer, that accepts 2 strings as an argument. The function should return the string that is longer, right? If the string have the same length, then return the first string. Okay, so if we have to check in this to compare these two, right, and whoever is the long, return that. If both are same, then we're just going to return the first one. Okay, so in case of bird and shoe, right, the bird, we return bird. Even disrupt, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 3 6 7. So we got the first one here. Okay, let's solve this, right? Solve this. So function longer, right? See, it has two parameter. Okay, basically you are passing two string, right? Two different strings. So we can call it a string 1, str1, comma str2, like that. And then now we're gonna check, right? If we're gonna just write if, right? Let's say if the string 1 dot length, right? Because we are comparing, so we need the number. Okay, is greater than equal to, if greater or equal to string 2 dot length, in that case, in that situation, of course we're going to return, right, the first one, string 1. Okay, we know that we have to do that. Else, so in that case, okay, we don't even have to write now else, right? What you can do is, if this condition is true, it will return string 1. Yeah, we know that. Then we just go down, right? If this condition is false, then you want to return again something, right? So just return it string 2. So we know that string 2 will be big, right? If this fails, we know by default string 2 will be the larger than string 1. We know that. And the result, if we just go F5, so look at that, everything is fine. See? Okay, let's close that. The next one is what? One or none, right? This looks some tricky. Okay, this one, right? Sometimes, but anyway, let's solve this also. One or none, right? One second. To close the door. Someone is making noise outside. Okay, so let's write simple function. Function, call it one or none, and it has two boolean value, right, in the argument. So what I will call it, right? B-O-L bool, right? 1 comma BOOL bool 2, right? Okay, bool 1 boolean 2, right? So now what is saying, right? When you're false, now we're comparing these two, okay? When they are false, if you read the question, right, the function should return true if exact one of the argument is true. If in this false true, right, there will be true. So we say for just like bool 1 or bool 2, right, return true. So that will be simple, that. Okay, so let's try that. So let's solve that one first. So if we just call it bool 1, right, or okay, or bool 2, then return what? Return true, right? You can write like this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Return true. So if, right, if that is the case, else if, let's do else if, right, again. So if one of them is true, you're gonna do that, right? So one of them is true, we know we're gonna get true, we know that one, right? We know that one of them is true, we're gonna, or we'll give what? If one of them is true, it will return true, right? Even this is okay, what? Okay, so even if this is false and false, right, that will be false. Okay, false and false. So when we get the true here, right, in the if case, we have to remember what is the output here, true or false. Means this will get true. Only time it will be true when the both one of them is true, right? So we return the true. That's done. But now else if, right, let's say both side is false. Okay, both side is false, then what gonna happen now? If bool 1, so else if okay, both side is false, but even in this case bool 1 is true and true, right? Even that is problem. Now let's say both is true, then still it will become true, right? And we don't want that. Okay, we don't want, right? So what should we do now? Okay, I know, I what we have to do, we have to convert that, right? So see, this is little, when you cannot think properly, right, even I cannot think sometimes, then it will turn you like it will just flip your mind away. So false and false, false and false, right, return false. If false means false and false. So we have to compare, right? If that equal to true, that will still give true to that. Okay, that is fine, but we need to make sure, right? uh no, we need to return true only on the last. Okay, so okay, I think I'm doing something wrong here, right? I know I solved this before. So how I can do, right? I want to make sure this is false and this is false. That will be false, right? If bool 1 equal to false, and right, let's check this. and bool2 equal to false. Then let's return this. So this will give me what? This will give me true, right? And if this is also true, then I will return false. I have to do that. Okay, that is first one. Else if I will check again, right? Bool1 is equal to true and bool2, right, equal to true. So I know if the bool1 and bool2, this is a true, this is a true, right? So this will give me true and true. Again I get true, right? In this case also I want to return what? Return false. That's the one I have to do, right? Now else, right? Else return true. Now in other case, let's return true, right? So let's see if that work. Okay, so we encounter both condition. This is the one condition, this is the one condition where there will be false, right? And then the rest is what? Either one will be true, right? In the other case, then we return true. So let's check this. Hope what we did. F5. No, that is not what I don't know what I press, right? Something is wrong. New terminal, go to F5. What I have pressed, man. That's it. That is done. That is done. So this is saved. A new terminal. I don't know what I have done, right? Something went wrong. One or none, that is fine. Bool1, bool2, everything is okay, right? Looks okay. Anyone can find something wrong here? If I try to run, right? What I getting here, you know? I don't know where I get all this. Okay, let me close this and open again, right? There was something wrong with my VS Code. Found no document, right? I don't know why it's giving such an error. Run debug, okay. It's just running to the separate file, right? So something is wrong, but okay, you guys can check this, right? Just try in your terminal, but it should work, right? If I just copy now, just copy the whole thing, you know, in the You can just copy this also in the console, and I think it should be fine. Let's go to one of the console, inspect console. I will put it here, right, and enter. So see that it gives false, true, true, and false, right? See that? And because function, we don't have anything, the function itself returning back, right? The function is not returning anything to the end, like here on the back, on the end of the function. That's why we get one undefined, because function should return something. But I mean, we're just testing, right? We're not worried about that undefined. So maybe somebody asking why is this undefined. So when inside the function, when there is nothing returned, it will be, I mean, we're returning the value, right? We're returning true or false in the condition if, else if, and all that. But here, if I put here, I'll just put return, right? Where do I have? Okay, I think I miss it again. Oh, it just run, right? Anyway, but you see, right? This is what we talk about the function. We will continue now. Let's meet on Monday, right? Monday, same time, 2 o'clock. You guys can please practice, right? Let's see, and just tell me Monday how much you have done, okay, from the beginning till function or whatever, how much you can finish, right? At least give 2 3 hours for this JavaScript, okay? Try. Okay, then I will stop here. Thank you very much.